Everybody's familiar with black boxes, but the first thing you think about when you hear the term black box is an airplane, right? And namely an airplane that has suffered some kind of malfunction, because everybody knows that if there's a black box on an airplane, it's recording all the data so that we can later piece together what happened in the airplane failure. Many times it's a crash. Well, over the years, as technology got better and better and more and cheaper, car manufacturers started installing black boxes in cars. And virtually every car on the market now has what is commonly referred to as a black box. It's also called an ECM, electronic control module, or an ECR, electronic control recorder. Basically, it's just a box. It's not as protected as one that's in an airplane, because you're not theoretically going to be in a violent crash like that in a vehicle. But they are protected with many times hard plastic. They're mounted in a way that, in a place that's not susceptible to crash, or to crush rather. And so what happens is sometimes these are under the seat, sometimes they're in the dash. They're in a place that's fairly sturdy and central. And it's collecting all kinds of data these days. Pretty much everything's digital, as you already know from being in your vehicle. It's the internet many times is available in your vehicle. GPS is available in your vehicle. So all this information, how fast your car is going, whether your car's in cruise control or not, whether your windows are down, what your speed has been over the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes is recorded. The braking data is recorded. The distance to stop, how long it takes you to stop from a certain mile per hour to 0. How hard you're pressing the brakes. Your RPMs. If your RPMs are really high, it will record that. Your over revs. In other words, if you have a car that you drive really fast and it's a manual, it will record, I don't know this from personal experience, it will record whether or not you have exceeded the red line for that particular gear. So there's a lot of stuff that's recorded, and these days with the travel computers, it also will record distances, places, landmarks, what you put into the device. If you synced your phone with it, it will likely have some stuff from your phone, especially if you used your phone navigation at the same time of it being hooked to Bluetooth. If you're using your phone for music, it may reflect the fact that you Bluetoothed your phone music at a certain time and then you stopped using it at a certain time. Same with phone calls and text messages. If you're using your phone, the Bluetooth system through your car to receive text messages or receive phone calls, it will record that. So there's a multitude of information you can get from a automobile black box. And there are experts that know how to retrieve that data from every different kind of car manufacturer. And so if you're involved in a wreck and that issue comes up, that device sometimes is really important. And certainly when we're going after other drivers for speeding, for driving recklessly or carelessly, and we need the black box to prove that, then it's always there for us to request. The important thing is that your lawyer be familiar enough with these kind of cases so that they know when to do a preservation letter after a car wreck, because they can look at a wreck report, or they should be able to look at a wreck report and tell you whether or not liability is going to be an issue and whether the black box is going to be an issue. And if it is, they should be immediately doing a preservation letter to the insurance company, because the insurance company, as you may or may not know, wants to get the car off to the junk pile as quickly as possible so they can get paid for the parts. So they like to have that car, that especially if it's totaled, off to the parts place within a day or two. And within a day or two after it arrives at the parts place, it will be in pieces. So, and the black box will likely not be available. Anyway, so keep that in mind. When you're selecting a lawyer, make sure you select a lawyer that does this kind of work as a mainstay. They're not doing this kind of work with other kinds of work. You want a lawyer that specializes in this kind of work, because that's the person that's going to know the most about details like this, like black boxes. Certainly if it's a truck wreck, in every truck wreck case, we are looking for the black box for obvious reasons. And the trucking black boxes tend to be a little more sophisticated than the passenger vehicles, because not only does the truck manufacturer want to record the data, but many times the operator of the truck, the semi, is also wanting real-time data to work on fuel economy issues, to make sure they're supervising their truck drivers appropriately about where they're going and what they're doing. So many times those trucks will have many devices that are recording this information, and we would make sure all those devices are preserved as part of the case. If you have any questions about black boxes and car wrecks and those kind of things, you can find us on the web at zarzaurlaw.com, or you can always call us at 855-HIRE-JOE. Thank you.